Hey guys, welcome to my channel Cloudy ML. I have not been able to make video in a long while. Like I have been quite busy with this AI for all data science course. So yeah, apologies for that. So I'm here with a new video in this series. Uh, this question you will be asked in many interviews. Like what is the bias variance and what is a bias variance trade-off? So, in interviews, most of the companies will ask, and in our day-to-day life, we have to make this adjustment. Our model should be of low bias and low variance. Now, let's jump to and try to understand what it is. So, you can see in this example, see this particular model. Suppose I am doing a linear regression. Okay, so these are my data points. I want to fit this line. So this line is a straight line, right, of degree one. So I'm not like it's a polynomial regression. Sorry, it's not linear. When it is degree one, then it's linear. But in this case, it's degree 3 and degree 20. So these are polynomial regression. So this is kind of we call it underfitting because it's not fitting properly to the data. So this one is called high bias. High bias means so we have to avoid high bias and high variance. Try to remember this. These are bit confusing terms. So high bias we need to avoid and high variance also. So in this case it's high bias because it's underfitting on the training data itself. Now this one you can see this is perfectly like when you increase the degree of a polynomial regression, it will do some adjustment and fit to the all the data points. So you see it's kind of very much like complicated, right? If so it's not kind of generalized, like if it's a training data. Now if some test data comes, obviously they won't be following this pattern, like this kind of going down and this stuffs here very strictly. So training data would like it will be a lot of error on the training data. Sorry, my bad. So in the training data it has fit very properly, but on the test data it will give error because the test data won't be like following this particular pattern. It will be some different way. So we need to make it somewhat generalized, right? So if you see this second figure, so this one is like quite generalized. So here it's not like trying to come to this point from this point, then here also they are not making very minute adjustment at each and every data point. So they have made a generalized line which is kind of try to fit all the points. So it is better than this and also better than this. Why? This is underfitting, this is not fit giving good results on the training data, and this is overfitting, and this won't give good results on the test data, but this is giving good results on training data, and obviously this will give good results on the test data as well. Okay, so yeah, that's what we have written in these points. You can read it through. Going forward, yeah, so model complexity, right? So this model is a very low complex model, and this is a very high complex model. Okay, so when the model complexity increases, variance increases. When the model complexity decreases, the bias increases. Sorry. Okay, so this is the bias and this is the variance. So blue color line, you see the variance bias has increased. So we don't want our model to be very much low complex and very high complex. We want somewhere in middle where it will be called like we will have low bias as well and low variance. So you can never create a model which with like this bias is also at this level and variance also this level. Okay, so if you want to bring variance to this level, then bias will go to this level, and if you want to bring bias to this level, then variance will go to this level. So we have to do some compromise and come to a point where bias and variance are not extreme low but kind of comparably very low. Okay, yeah, so reiterating the points, underfitting, training accuracy, low accuracy, not always, like it can be error also in regression. Okay, so you can just go through this table. Reiterating the same point, that correct model is this one, low bias and yeah, so this is low bias and low variance with degree 3. That is what we are expecting. So this is the model we want, not this one, or with degree 1, not degree 2 also, because it's low bias and high variance. And so when it's degree 1, then it's high bias, like not fitting well to the training data, and low variance. And this is not kind of strict, like it's not that when it's not properly fitting the training data, then it will like by default fit properly to the test data. But yeah, it kind of for saying it's high bias and low variance, it can be high variance also in this particular case. As you can see, it will give a good bad results on the test data as well. And for degree 20, it has low bias for sure, it's properly fitting on the test data, but high variance because it's giving it will give very bad results on the test data because it's very complex model. Going forward, okay, now summary. So I will just try to emphasize on this point. These points I've iterated before also. So they are the methods. So the methods we use to reduce the bias and variance. Okay. So we for regression problem we use regularization. So we have region lasso for linear regression. So what it will do, it will try to, like, some feature is getting very high weight due to the training data, so it will try to penalize that high weight. So that's the purpose of using region lasso, and the model becomes bit generalized. So when a model is becoming generalized, so we are trying to reduce the variance. Now boosting is something like we use decision tree. We use decision tree, small decision trees, like they're not able to fit properly on the training data. But what we do, we based on the errors learned from the first model, we build the second model. Based on the errors learned for the second model, we build the third model. So this way we try to build small decision tree with high bias, and we by increasing number of tree we try to reduce the bias. Okay. And in bagging, what we do, we make decision tree of full length, not small trees which we used to do in boosting. We are making big decision trees, like with n depth equal to 20, 30, 100, whatever. So we make the tree grow to its fullest extent. So in that case, what happens, the decision trees are fitting very nicely to the training data. But again, so it's a problem of high variance because it won't perform good on the test data. So what we do, we increase the number of trees. Okay, we build 100 trees or 1000 trees. So in this way, by increasing number of trees, we reduce the variance present in decision tree. So that's called random forest like multiple collection of trees. And one more important thing, that in the random forest we try to how we make different trees. We take, like, we don't take the same data again and again, like then we will get all the 100 trees as same, right? So we do bootstrapping, like we will take randomly, like from 1000 rows we will randomly take 500 rows for first tree, randomly take 500 different set of 500 rows for the second tree, and this random like sampling is done with replacement. Okay, so it's not that we will take out the 500 rows and next sampling will be done on the remaining 500 rows. It will be done in the entire 1000 rows. So that way we do the row sampling. We also do feature sampling, like we won't take all the columns at a time for making the trees. So this is a way how this random forest works to reduce the variance. Yeah, that's it for this one. Now bit of time for self promotion. So this is the AI for all course, data science course I was talking about. So this is the course curriculum. This link I will be giving you. I won't take up much of your time now. I will give the link, and so that you can go in full details, and then you can call at these numbers and get your query resolved. So, and WhatsApp also, you can like get your queries resolved, right? So what is happening? Okay, so the curriculum wise, like we are covering Python, NumPy, Pandas, like stuffs, and ML algorithms, their end-to-end implementation. We have 10 plus data science projects. Then we are going to SageMaker deployments using cloud and statistics, SQL, and these are the stuffs like mostly they ask in interviews, right? So these stuffs we have tried to cover it, and the way we have covered it is in full hands-on mode. So the two major point for this course is complete hands-on learning, assignment based learning. So content plus questions are present in the assignments, and then we have mentors available from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you are stuck anywhere, so that's the main part. Like if you are stuck while doing something but you have no clue, like you will waste hours to get that query resolved. But when you have someone to guide you, then it's a very like the learning becomes faster. So we have mentors to guide you with all the assignment related queries. Yeah, so you can go to the entire course and have a look. I will give the link. I won't explain much here. Thank you all for watching this video and giving your time till the end. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a good day.